Hey guys, welcome to another reading here. So this reading is going to be for those of you who are feeling stuck in some sort of situation, or you feel like you're trying to do something and you're kind of running into some sort of block. This is a timeless reading. It's a general reading, so take what resonates and just leave what does not. My lovely friend here, Miss Ruby, I guess wants to join too, but Miss Ruby, I'm actually going to need you to move in a little bit. Okay. I love you too. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. All right, so like I said, timeless reading. So this is going to work no matter when you find this video. I want you to trust that this video has found you for a reason and that there is something that you are meant to get out of here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start out with is let's figure out what's trying to flow. You know, sometimes when we feel these blocks or we feel kind of stuck in some sort of situation or some area of our life, it's usually meaning that something is trying to flow, but there's some sort of block. So we're going to start out and figure out like what is trying to flow through you? What is trying to come out of this situation? Dudley, that is not a toy. If there's a little bit of shaking, I apologize. That is Mr. Dudley. Okay. So the first one we have here is honor the cycles. Okay, so this is number 14 for those of you guys who resonate with numbers. Dudley, stop kicking. Thank you. So understanding that everything is a process, everything has a flow to it. And sometimes we are at a part of a cycle where something needs to change, or sometimes we are in a place where we feel like things have to be a certain way, you know, and we get like into these headspaces where something has to look a certain way and something totally different and even better is trying to flow through that whole situation and help you grow. So remembering that this is a process, that there is nothing wrong with you. It doesn't matter what anyone says about that. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing that you're doing wrong. What you are doing right now is learning something. Okay. I think I might need to go and distract my kitty friend. Daddy. Daddy, come on. Come on, kitty. Come on. Well, there you go. Thank you, friend. Sorry about that, guys. So honoring the cycles that you're going through, you know, everything has a bit of an ebb and a flow to it. And, you know, I want you to remember that wherever you are right now is not where you stay. You know what I'm saying? So even if you're currently in like a really unpleasant season right now, I want to remind you that is a season. Okay, seasons always change. The mind does not always feel that way, you know, initially, but the seasons are always changing. And that part of you that's like above your mind, that's like aware of like, okay, I know that this isn't the case, but like I'm still feeling this way. That is who you are. That's your awareness. Remember, you have a mind. You are not the mind. And a lot of us have been taught to identify with the mind. So those thoughts that you're having, those feelings that you're having that, you know, may not be so pleasant, remember, that's not who you truly are. That's something that you're carrying. You know what I'm saying? So we can pick what we choose to give attention to in that box. So with that, with a lot of times when we feel stuck, we don't always feel grounded. Usually if we're grounded, we don't feel stuck because we're able to feel more clear in our minds. So let's see what is coming out in this one in terms of what's going to be helpful for grounding in this situation. And also while I'm doing the shuffling here, those of you who also resonate with numbers, while this first one, honoring the cycle, says in number 14, also in numerology, 1 and 4 make 5. 5 is the number of change. So remember, seasons are changing. There's something that's trying to flow out, and it usually is indicating there's a change that's trying to come in through you, as you, for you. And I know a lot of people are afraid of change, in the mind, because the mind likes repetition, right? But I want to remind you that change is always happening. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're in a stuck situation, you're wanting a change, which is to not be stuck. That's a good thing. So sometimes it really comes down to perspective. Now, what's going to be helpful for grounding? Play. So for those of you guys, again, who resonate with numbers, this is number 36. 3 and 6 equals 9. 9 is the number that usually indicates the end of something. Okay, so something that isn't serving you anymore, like transitioning into a new season, like things like that are trying to come through right now. And they're trying to basically come to the top, like how oil comes to the top of water. And then, once it comes to the top, it's like, okay, now we can let it go. A lot of us have been storing and holding back and like suppressing the very things that we enjoy, the very things that are important to us. And it's easy when you get distracted with all the different things going on in your life. We're all busy. We all have different things and responsibilities. It's easy for that play factor to fall off. One of the reasons why I think children are always so happy a lot of the time, more so than adults, is because they play. And just because we have bills, just because we have responsibilities, just because we're legally labeled as an adult does not mean that play doesn't become any less important. So whatever that thing is, like for me, I disconnected from my video games. I loved my video games. And the reason being was because it was a fun experience, but I always learned something. When you watch that, that cartoon, or you play that game, or you go outside just because, you go and treat yourself just because I can, you know what I'm saying? Like giving yourself that permission is going to let that energy, that playful, creative energy that's trying to come out and express, to come through you. And you'd be surprised the different things you start to notice when you go and tap into that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us have really kind of like, we've given so much time to our bills, our responsibilities, all these things that we should be doing. And remember, should have shame, that it's easy to kind of lose touch with that inner child, that energy that we feel, when we're doing something that we're really passionate about, that we really like. And for those of you who are thinking, because it's a thought, that isn't you, well, I'm not passionate about anything. I don't enjoy anything. I used to enjoy these things. I don't enjoy these fun things anymore. Remember, that is a thought, that is a belief, that is not you. That is something like an accessory you're carrying in your mind. And the mind is not a bad thing, okay? But the mind is really used to repetition. So even if that repetition is boring, is depressing, is truly unsafe, like the mind prioritizes repetition, but your soul, that part of you that's aware, that's like, yeah, I don't like this. I don't want to do this anymore. That part of you wants to express and experience something different, or you wouldn't be having that feeling of feeling stuck, right? So tapping into the creative thing that you like to do, that fun thing, that game, that experience, doing something spontaneous, going outside just because, if it's safe for you to go outside, drawing, coloring, visualization, even if it's something as simple as just looking at different pictures online, you know what I'm saying? Like your girl has looked at various wallpapers when she felt stuck. And when you start to, like I said, tap into that, You're going to find that you're going to get insights. You're going to start to notice certain things that you didn't notice before because you're in a totally different energy. You're in a totally different vibe and you're in a different headspace. You know what I'm saying? So that can help break up some of that monotony that some of you guys are feeling. So I highly encourage us. That's very important. And then this third one, what is going to be one of the keys to freedom? So not feeling stuck like this anymore. I actually got bottom of the deck here. So bottom of the deck, flow with divine timing. Okay. So for those of you guys who are with the numbers, the number down here is 29, 2 and 9 that make 11. 11 is a master number. It is a number of, spiritual growth, spiritual enlightenment. It's a number of leadership. It's a number that really helps bring a lot of change, which again, honor the cycle. It's a change. Tapping into play, 3 + 6 is 9. So you're at the end of something that is trying to release from you. And I would encourage you to let whatever is trying to flow through, let it flow. A lot of times, like I said, our minds feel like things have to go a certain way, a specific way. Our healing has to look this way. Our end result has to look this way. Our experience has to look this way. And, when you do that, it's very easy to be so focused on that we don't see all the other things that are trying to flow around us, through us, for us. And everything happens with divine timing. So again, going in with that flow, whatever is trying to flow through you, when you notice that there's some resistance going on, notice it, like, I see you, but don't have to go and judge yourself for it. You know what I'm saying? You're learning about yourself right now with whatever situation you're going through. And when you go into a different headspace, which happens when you play, which is why work and play, a lot of times people see them separately, it takes you in a different headspace. So then it's going to be a lot easier to let whatever is trying to flow for you, flow through you, flow as you, it'll come up in the divine timing as you let that stuff flow. So understanding that it's a process, awareness is key, tapping into that play is super important. And then I have one more card I want to share with you because this is the card that I was drawn to pick myself yesterday because I was feeling stuck. Like, okay, I felt like I wasn't really progressing like I wanted to. Again, it's the mind that is not me. And I was drawn to pick the card at the top. And the one I got was collaborate. Okay, so don't feel like you have to do everything alone. All right, so for those of you who numbers resonate, number 38, 3 and 8 is 11. Again, 11 is a master number. 11 is actually my master number. And it is a number that has the energy of spiritual growth, changing, evolving on a spiritual level. You are growing, you are getting into your own style of leadership. There's a lot that's trying to flow through you, and there's a lot that the universe is doing for you right now. And sometimes when we're in our minds, we don't always see that because the mind has limits to what it can understand and perceive when it comes to the divine realm of things and your spirit and things like that. The mind is really good with, connecting things into the physical world. So I invite you to, again, don't feel like you have to do everything alone. Can we do anything on our own? Absolutely. Is it going to be a smooth and easy process? Not always. Sometimes working with other people is very helpful, but working with the right people, you know what I'm saying? Collaborating with people that are going to uplift you, that are going to empower you, people that are going to support you, people that are going to, teach you the lessons that you need and want to learn. Some of you guys are surrounded by people who have already taught you the lesson that you already needed to learn about XYZ is like, okay, this isn't serving me anymore. You know what I'm saying? And for those of you who can't just get up and move somewhere else, because I know that's not always easy, again, we have the internet. There's so many different wonderful areas on the internet. Not every single group and every single place on the internet is negative. And if you go with that belief that all these groups on the internet are negative, that's all you're going to find, because you're not looking for the positive ones. And when you do, you're going to have a warped perception like, okay, what's the angle? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't empower you. That doesn't, help you feel great about yourself or great about life or whatever you're stuck in. So, I really encourage this, especially those of you who feel like you are suffering. I know it's easy to feel like it will never end. I was there. I've been there for many, many, many different occasions in my lifetime. And, on the other side, it's like, wow, like I didn't realize all of this. So you don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to suffer alone. Okay. If it resonates with you guys, I've actually created a course that helps walk you through how to stop suffering and start thriving the way that it worked for me, and how to figure out, what area of your body you want to start to balance first. Because I've learned that when you go and start to balance your body out, and I mean all parts, not just physically. I mean like the emotional part, the mental part, the spiritual part, the energetic part, all these different areas. I've noticed when that is in balance and that harmony is there in each area, it totally changes your life, because it changes how you see things. It changes how you respond to things. And other people can pick up on your own energy vibes and they'll respond based on that too. So then the people around you, they're going to start responding differently. And if they don't, then you'll find another place that serves you better, Like I found that to be really important. Like balance seemed to be really key for me. So if that is something that resonates with any of you guys, I will put a link in the description box below. Again, it's called Stop Suffering, Start Thriving, and it's really a nice tool to help you build the lifestyle that you authentically want instead of living somebody else's life instead. You know what I mean? So that is what I have for today's reading. So I love each and every one of you. I want you to know that I see you, I hear you, I honor you, and I will see you guys in the next reading. All right, thank you.